Okay, we're going to do, we're continuing with the quotes and we're going in alphabetical orders. We're going to do Michael Sugrue today. And I'm going to have a link to a video with him giving a lecture about the book Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This and Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol are the two greatest novels ever written. Number 3 would probably be Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. Number 4, Quo Vadis, Henry Sienkiewicz. You'll notice they're all Christian novels. Christianity is absolutely superior at literature. Okay. If you look at the top 20 novels, about 19 of them are Christian. The only one that I'd put in there that's sort of not a Christian theme would be Atlas Shrugged, which is, an incredible masterpiece. Okay, Michael Sugrue, he died recently, died in 2024. He is an Irish Catholic professor of history and philosophy, and he's the best lecturer on philosophy I've ever seen. I've seen tons and tons of them. Okay, I've gone through tons of philosophy lectures. Okay, he was a professor at Princeton for a while, then Ave Maria University, and here's just a couple quotes of his. And then the reason I'm showing you this book here, Brothers Karamazov, is because I used to own 5 copies of it, all these different translations of it. The best one is right here by Constance Garnett. He's got the best summary of it. It's about a 45-minute lecture. I'm going to link to it. I mean, it's when he was older. He was sick. He died of metastatic cancer, and he was all sick. He had surgical complications and stuff. But you'll see it. So you see him when he's younger. He was very impressive. He'd walk around. He'd have his entire lecture memorized. But in this one, he's kind of a sick old guy just sitting in his chair. But his mastery of the subject is extraordinary. Okay, here's a couple quotes from Michael Sugrue. He says, "I love to read, and I spent my life reading books. I knew I was going to be a professor. In college one summer, I read all of Shakespeare. The next summer, all of Plato. And the next summer, all of Nietzsche. Then as a grad student, I taught history of philosophy for 5 years, and I read all of it extensively. The only way to get a good education is to educate yourself. You can either learn it on your own. You either learn it on your own or you don't. Schools just introduce you to stuff. Like I took Western Civilization history when I was at Stanford, 5-unit course, 3 quarters, the entire year. And it introduced me to everything, gave me a sense of it. But it was later on I went back and read all the stuff on my own. Because when you're in college, you're in a hurry, you got a ton of stuff to read, you don't have enough life experience to really put things into perspective. You don't have that historical context in your mind. You get it later, but it's good that you're shown, here's the good stuff. Come back and get this when you got time. He said, adjunct professors are paid poorly. If you have to work, try to get a job where you could read. Yeah, a good job would be something like, being a lifeguard at the pool. You could just read. You don't have to do much. Well, it depends. At the beach or something. The pool might be a little too wet. It's up to you. You understand what I'm saying. Somewhere where you could read. Okay, true education starts with a love of learning, a love of knowledge. He loves Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, Misanthrope by Molière, the French playwright, and Measure for Measure by Shakespeare. Okay, let's see. Get some of his better quotes. He says, if you need notes, then you're not well prepared enough for your lecture. You should be able to just walk around and talk and generate a Socratic-like conversation for teaching. To make any progress in philosophy, you have to be really focused. You have to read a lot. He said, I'm a hybrid Christian Platonist, which basically means he loves Christianity and he loves the ancient Greeks. And that's typical. I'm the same way. I wouldn't call myself a Platonist, though. I'm an Aristotelian. Screw Plato. He's a jerk compared to Aristotle. But, like we said, the Aristotelian string of Christianity goes through Thomas Aquinas and the Italian Renaissance. The Platonic string kind of goes through Augustine and Luther and the Protestants. And the Protestants stink compared to Catholics. And Catholics are so much more fun. We coexisted with paganism for 500 years. We enjoy it. And if you look back at the Renaissance, they often, felt sort of the serious piety of Christianity, but they loved sort of the playful fun of the ancient Greeks, Apollonian and Dionysian, okay? All right, so continuing with Michael Sugrue, he says, I spent a lifetime looking at the history and philosophy of the West. I trained as a historian. I studied other cultures, including the Chinese, the Indian, etc. I think both Socrates and Jesus were right in their own different ways. Science has done some great things, but there's nothing in science like the parable of the Good Samaritan, which is only in the Gospel according to Luke. I admire Athenian rationality, but it has its limits. It does not promote compassion. The Gospel does promote compassion. The Western tradition without the Gospel is not so great. He says, I want both. Athens and Christianity. But if I had to pick, I would take Christianity because it will sprout rationality with time. It's exactly what happened. Science without Christianity will not necessarily ever generate general compassion. That's what people don't understand. People think science is so great. I got news for you. Science is like an Old Testament God. It'll beat the crap out of you and crush you. Okay? It has no sympathy. It has no mercy. If you want to understand science, think about atheistic Darwinism and think about the British in the 1840s when there was a famine in Ireland. They intentionally took more food out of the country to starve the Irish. They wanted to, KI, then you know what comes next. The word is LL, so they could take their land from them. Okay, recolonize it with, with their own people from England. Okay, Anglicans or Scotsmen, the Orangemen. All right, so I'm just telling you that because what he says is exactly correct. And the reason I'm going to link to his summary of Brothers Karamazov is because it's the best one. I've read tons and tons of commentary on Brother Karamazov, entire books about it. I know the whole Freudian thing, the Nietzsche thing. And I've written book chapters on it myself. But his is the best summary to get you right to the point of the different brothers, the relationship with their father, and how that relates to one's purpose in life and all that. It's extraordinary. This will be the end of part 1, but I'm going to do several additional lectures about Michael Sugrue. And he has his own entire YouTube channel. It was run by his daughter who posted all his lectures online, and it became a phenomenon. He got over like 23 million views years ago. Anyways, I'll have the links in the description below to him talking about Brothers Karamazov, and I'll also link to Brothers Karamazov from the movie with John Gielgud. Okay, it's extraordinary stuff for the Grand Inquisitor scene. And then later on, like I said, in the subsequent lectures, we'll do more on Michael Sugrue himself.